This video is sponsored by PokeTownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck, or just to get the latest booster packs in town like Crown Zenith for example. They literally have everything, and you can use the coupon code ZapDosTCG for 5% off your order. This video is also sponsored by CARDMARKET.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can use the referral name ZapDosTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by YourPlayMat.com. This is a platform where you're able to upload your favorite wallpaper and they turn it into a beautiful playmat. You can now have 10% off your order by clicking the link down below, and they ship worldwide, so definitely check it out. Last but certainly not least is going to be DragonShield.com. Dragon Shield is the best brand to protect your beautiful cards, and they have the best quality sleeves available, and you can of course check it out by clicking the links down below. They have sleeves, binders, and deck boxes of the best quality around. I use them in every single tournament, and you guys should do the exact same thing. Thank you a lot for sticking around with the commercials, and enjoy the video. Peace. What's up YouTube, it's ZapDosTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Today we're going to be talking about some brand new cards that we will be getting in June in our second Scarlet and Violet set. These look very cool, and Japan actually gets these already on the 14th of April, with of course the two sets in combination to create that set. We have the Scarlet and Violet expansion Snow Hazard, and then the Pack Clay Burst. So these are the images of what the products are looking like in Japan. As mentioned, they are gonna get released on April 14th, so if you're a fan of some Japanese cards, you can get them already there. So it is a set which actually will contain 71 cards, so that will of course be some new cards that are going to be impactful in the competitive scene, which is something you definitely want to be taking a look at, because I'm always giving you guys the best competitive Pokemon TCG information in town, so you can of course make sure you can be at your A game. So lots of cool cards, and way better than the first Scarlet and Violet set. The first Scarlet and Violet set of course had Miraidon EX as well as Gardevoir EX being the best EXs from that era, but now we're getting some brand new ones, some legendaries. We have Chien-Pao EX. Let's just start with of course reviewing all of these cards, and if you guys are hyped for today's upload, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in ridiculous ways. It's super effective, you know. So without further ado, let's talk about Chien-Pao. Look at this fantastic beautiful card. It is a basic EX Pokemon, and it is weak to metal since it's an ice type. So what can we see here? It comes back with a very cool ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you can search your deck for 2 basic water energies, reveal them and put them in the hand. Why is this great? Because we're also getting a Deluge kind of ability, just as the way we had with of course the base set Blastoise, or even further. A lot of Blastoise had these abilities. Frostmoth has also that ability, but the cool thing is with that new Deluge, you're also going to be able to accelerate to the active position. If we take a look here at the Baxcalibur, so this is going to be a cool card here. It's a stage 2 unfortunately, but it states here, as often as you like, you may attach a water energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Doesn't matter if it's on the bench, if the active. With Frostmoth, it was a stage 1, but the problem is you only could accelerate to the bench. With this, you can accelerate anywhere. So with the Mew from Celebration still being in the format, being able to fetch that rare candy, with cards like Iridon the format. Think about that, folks. Iridon, get yourself this stage 2 Baxcalibur as well as your rare candy, and poof, you're up and ready to go. How can we find Iridon consistently? With of course Lumineon. So we have every single tool out there to get that Raindrop, aka Deluge, aka Sub-Zero is the ability. Very cool. Little bit of a shout out to Mortal Kombat, it seems. So Sub-Zero ability to of course accelerate as many water energies as we can, and we can find those energies with that Trembling Chill ability from the Chien-Pao EX. So by that time, this is going to be an archetype for sure. It also comes back with an attack. Discard any amount of water energies from your Pokemon. This attack does 60 damage for each energy discarded in this way. So it doesn't have to be on this Pokemon. It can be from anywhere on your field, which is super cool for sure. You use the ability as once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you can search it out for 2 waters and put them in hand. I think this also is going to be stackable. You can use that and then retreat, actually switch into another Chien-Pao EX, use it again, get all those water energies, and then boom, slap it down. The cool thing is that we also have the Superior Energy Stellar Retrieval, or Super Energy Retrieval. That is going to be a card also released shortly. Is going to allow you to discard 2 cards from hand and get 4 basic energies back from that discard pile. You could also use stuff like Clara. So I think this, we also get Super Rod, by the way. Little bit of note on that later, but this is going to be an archetype because if you get like 4 of them out there, you're already slapping 240 damage at some choice belts here and there. You're hitting some numbers here and there, and if you get 5, you slap 300. A 2 price, you're slapping 300 is very great, and you can do this as early as your second turn. If you go first, set up your basic Pokemon. Following turn, Iridar Rare Candy, boom, and you're there. Unfortunately, Capacious Bucket will have been rotated when this card gets released, but that doesn't mean this is a bad card. I don't know if we get more water support. There's more water Pokemon that is going to be splashed into a deck like this, so I like this attacker for sure. Next is Ting-Lu. Ting-Lu EX. Fighting type Pokemon. 240 is on the higher end for a basic EX. Having a 4 retreat cost, but is weak to grass. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, opponent's Pokemon except Pokemon EX that have any damage counters on them have no abilities. Okay. As long as it's Pokemon except Pokemon EX, okay. They have any damage counters on them. Okay, excuse me. So that does mean that EXs will still have abilities except for other Pokemon. So that means something like a Comfey, something like a Genesect V have no abilities as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot. Pokemon that have any damage counter. So you would need to have like something splashed up with the Hawlucha, spread some damage around so you can shut down abilities. Pretty interesting, for sure. Then we have a Land Scoop, 150 damage, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Reasonable, I would say, but it's not a great attack, to be honest. You can set it up with stuff like Koraidon, but still, I don't think it's going to be seeing that much play, although shutting down Pokemon's abilities, if they have any damage counters, could be some sort of wacky way. Maybe in some sort of control list, I could see it working. Next is the Dedenne EX Part 2, but it only works... Yo, look at that. Once during your turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards. You can't use more than 1 quick take ability each turn. Wow. Once during your first turn. Okay. Glad I saw that part. You can only use it on your first turn. So Dedenne GX is back. So turbo mode. Very cool because on the first turn you're not able to attack, but you're able to set up. And with this, it is definitely capable. You also are able to attach 2 basic energies from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon any way you like with its attack. So its attack is great to set up Pokemon, and it's also going to be a great card to draw to your deck. Think about Tracking Shoes, Squawkabilly, yeah, that's the Pokemon's name. Squawkabilly, draw through your deck, and you also have Mew from Celebrations here and there. So there are ways to turbo through your deck, and this is going to be great. Only going to be able to use that on your first turn, but still strong regardless. I like it. It's not like the Dedenne where you can use like on every single turn of the game, but for setup, this is great. Then we have Chi-Yu EX, Fire type. Look at that, 190 HP. First attack, discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Okay. So that could be something like the Houndoom EX, was it, back in the day? So to mill cards from the opponent's deck has always been some sort of a strategy in the game. Choose 3 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those, search your deck for a basic fire energy and attach it to that Pokemon. So with the Flame Search, you can set up your entire field, but we also have Magma Basin in the format. So, and water is surprisingly going to be good with, of course, these Stage 2 Sub-Zero kind of things with the Baxcalibur. So I don't think this is going to be seeing any play. Maybe in some sort of a mill deck to surprisingly mill 2 cards from your opponent's deck. So that could be the way you can see it, but I'm not too fan of the Chi-Yu. I'm a big fan of the Squawkabilly, and I'm a big fan of Chien-Pao EX. Moving forward, we have Robska, Revival Blessing. Choose a Pokemon from your discard pile and put it on your bench. Okay, not too great. This is a bulk card. We have then The Dunsparce. Dunsparce. Okay, we have this card. 100 damage. The defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. Shuffle this Pokemon and all cards back in your deck. So it does require 4 colorless energies. That's way too much. But instant paralyzation, I know decks like Lugia do not like that word, but a lot of decks will have, of course, ways they can retreat with, of course, the stadium, but that's a manual retreat. So I don't see a lot of decks post-rotation that are playing a lot of switch cards, except for the Lost Zone boxes. And this also is stage 1. It does require 4 energy, so I don't think it will see that much play. Could be a wacky counter against Lugia, I suppose. Then we have Garganacle. I don't know if I pronounce these correctly. Excuse me if I'm doing it wrong. I have not completed these Scarlet and Violet games yet. At any time between turns, heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. Stack that with Radiant Serena. Yeah. Heal 20 for each. Yeah, this is actually the Radiant Serena's ability. But this is a stage 2. But it is stackable if you can get like a couple of these out. They also have 180 HP. If you get 4 of these out, heal 80 from everyone. It's a stage 2, so that's why I think it won't see play. Raichu. Search your deck for 2 basic lightning energies and attach them to this Pokemon. Then 200, yeah, it's just bulk. Mousehole. Put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon for each Mousehole you have in play. On each of your opponent's Pokemon. It's a stage 1 though, but it's searchable with Level Ball. They have a low amount of hit points. Lost Box Sableye spread will eat this up. And that's why I think it's bad. But imagine, like, you can use that a couple of times. 4 damage counter on every one of the opponent's Pokemon. It reminds me of the Weezing. We had a Weezing that did that spread damage. I like spread decks, but Sableye does it better. We have Grusha. Draw until you have 5 cards in hand. If none of your Pokemon in play have any energies, draw until you have 7 cards in hand. Wow, a deck that maybe is not running on any energies could utilize this. And also, decks that need a huge amount of setup, then you could also use this. Draw cards and you have 7 in hand. In the early phase of the game, it's going to be very difficult to empty your hand without accelerating energies, but maybe decks that are not playing any kind of energies. But the only deck I can think of is Hisuian Arcanine, and that doesn't want to have a lot of cards in hand because you want to have a 0 card hand. So at this first glance, probably won't see any play because we have way better supporters out there. With Marnie rotating, we now have Iono, or actually Iono, yeah. Who remembers the days N2-1? Well, prepare yourself, the comeback mechanic is back. N has returned in the format in the guise of Iono. Each player shuffles their hand and puts it on the bottom of the deck, and each player draws a card for each of their remaining prize cards. This is huge. You have no idea how a lot of people have been craving for a comeback mechanic card like this. I would see decks again with 4 research, 4 Iono, and that's it. So now the only thing we need is VS Seeker and we're back to the good old TCG days, right? Wow, Iono. This is a staple card. I cannot stress it out enough. It's super strong in the late game. You can put the opponent to like 1 card because if they only need 1 more prize card, and you can map that out a little bit because we have VMAXs, V-Stars, 1 prizers. You can map that out, put the opponent to a 1 card hand, slap a Pat to the peak on top of that, and out of nowhere, you can come back in the game, which is something they teased at the World Championships in London. So I'm very glad to get this Iono card. Super Rod is back, get your old copies. Shuffle up to 3 and in combination of basic Pokemon and energies. This is something that will make the Reggie deck viable again, because now we are forced to utilize Clara or Miriam to get the Reggies back. And now we have Super Rod. Super Rod is actually better than Ordinary Rod, especially to get more Pokemon back in your deck. So I'm a big fan. Reggie will come back. Now the only thing we are missing out on is some sort of a rainbow energy, and the Regigigas deck will thrive once again. And then Brave Charm, the basic Pokemon this card is attached to, gets 50 HP. Pretty much Cape of Toughness. Yeah, this is pretty much Cape of Toughness, but it's with the new tool errata. So yeah, you can make yourself some bulky Pokemon once again. So cool. Cool. I'm liking these cards. This is way better than the first Scarlet and Violet set. So Brave Charm, definitely nice. Super Rod, Iono, my favorite card from this entire series that we've seen. A couple of bulk cards like the Dunsparce and stuff, but I'm also a big fan of the Baxcalibur, because you're gonna be able to have like the deluge effect. This is going to be an archetype. I don't know if the stage 2 is going to be viable enough. Maybe we need something to take additional prize cards. Like back in the days, we had like the Articuno with the Delta ability, something like that, Delta trait, to take additional prize cards. Now, yeah, I don't know how this will be coming into the format, because we also have Gardevoir, I would say. But if we have power, we have a one-shot machine and Chien-Pao. But Lost Boxes are also still running Zamazenta, so the weakness might kind of hurt. But there's also some cool looking artworks, I would say. Look at the Dunsparce. Look at cool alt art. What is this? Yeah, that's that the other fella that I was talking about here. What was it? The Rapska. Wow, these names. Mousehold. Look at them. Look at them go. They have a low amount of hit points, but when they work together, they're doing a whole lot of things. And then there's Raichu as well. Look at that. All these beautiful cards will become available April 14th in this set and this set respectively. So yeah, definitely check it out. And these will come to our second Scarlet and Violet set in June. So I cannot wait to start playing. This also will be legal for the World Championship. So comebacks, here we come. Iono in the house. So let me know what you think about this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Go check out our sponsors, PokemonStore.com, the best place for TCGO code cards. They also work for TCG Live. Use the coupon code ZapDosTCG for 5% off and start, of course, your adventure online. There's CARDMARKET.com for European players. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZapDosTCG to help support the channel. There's YourPlaymat.com to create your own custom playmat from scratch. You can get 10% off by clicking that link down below. So start creating your own fantastic playmat. And then for sleeves, binders, and deck boxes, Dragon Shield is a brass brand to help protect your beautiful cards. Link down below to, of course, buy Dragon Shield products. Have yourself a fantastic day. This is good news for the Pokemon TCG, Iono for life. And we will see each other shortly, because I'm heading to the Utrecht special event to play in another big tournament. See you then. Peace.